Good evening. Hope everyone is doing well. So today is January 29th and the temperature at 6 p.m. for the high, it was 37 degrees Fahrenheit. So we don't have to change our thread or yarn. We are going to continue with the turquoise. My friend says I'm pronouncing it wrong. It's like tortoise, the turquoise, please. I don't know how to pronounce it, so yeah, forgive me. I've been saying turquoise, I've been saying turquoise. Like, what? How is it pronounced, you guys? Those who are good with pronunciation, please type it in the comment section. I wish they had like audio so you guys can put it on there. How do you pronounce it? Turquoise also. I don't know. She pronounced it, but I still go with my turquoise because I don't know. All right. So I didn't hear from you guys as to what story. It was only one person who commented. She says she wants funny stories. So I'm going to tell you a funny story. I don't know if it's even funny. So growing up, there used to be, in Ghana, I'm doing something wrong. It's supposed to be single crochet, my bad. In Ghana, growing up where I used to live, I lived in a place called Iskafan Bantam number 2. So that's my parents, myself, and my siblings. That's where we lived. And there was a big park in front of the place where we were renting, the apartments where we lived. And people used to do funerals over there, like funeral celebrations, like the reception of the funeral. I don't know if it's called reception, but it's like after the funeral, there's like a celebration. In Ghanaian culture, funerals are celebrated. Sometimes they are big, like they do big funerals, they rent canopies and chairs, and it's a feast. Funerals are like big festivals. So normally when they do funerals on that park, the park was a clay park. I remember people would dig there's this thing, edible chalk. People used to dig edible chalk from that park to eat and stuff, but yeah, that's by the way. So whenever there was a funeral, after the funeral, they would organize the children in the area to come and dance. And anybody who knows me knows I like to dance. Anybody who knows me knows I like to dance. So, and my parents wouldn't let us go out, so we'll be in the house, and I'll sneak out of the house. One time, I think both parents were not home, and my uncle was taking care of us. Uncle Bed, may God rest his soul. He passed away a few years ago, and he was the one watching us. I think he took a nap, and I sneaked out of the house, and I went to this park, and they were doing a dancing competition after the funeral. So I was a good dancer, but I was a good dancer back in the day. I was like in grade 2 or grade 3 when this happened, and I danced. So usually all the kids, there's a lot of kids in their dance, so you have to make sure people see you. So they will play the music, we'll all be dancing, and then they'll stop the music. Then kid after kid, they'll raise their hand, and then the MC will ask, in or away? And then if you're not a good dancer, the people will shout, away. And if you're a good dancer, they will shout in, then they'll maintain you. So I was dancing, I kept getting in. So it was left with me and 2 other people. And we were dancing, and I was dancing on my dance moves. And that day I was wearing a car wash, a brown car wash dress. That was my favorite attire. What we call jumper here, right? Yeah, I think it's called the jumper over here. But back home they called it car wash. And I was dancing. Come and see. Everybody was giving me fans. If they say everybody was giving me fans, everybody was praising. Everybody was giving me fans means everybody was praising me. So everybody was praising me, and then when it came to the time for them to say in or away, they lifted the other two people's hands. They were like, away, away, away. And then they started shouting, car wash, car wash, car wash, car wash. Guess what? I won. And usually when you're dancing and you're doing really well, people put money on you, or they put money in your pockets and stuff. So when I finished, I had money in my pocket. When people were putting money in my pockets, don't know, other people were also coming and taking the money out of my pocket. People stole my money that day. But I still made some money. It wasn't a lot of money. No, after dancing, I was standing there. My uncle came and he picked me up and took me. That day I was in trouble. I wasn't in big trouble though, but it's like, did I not tell you to go out? You know, I miss Uncle Bed though. Yeah, I was a troublesome kid growing up. Anybody who knows me knows I was troublesome. Yeah, don't go, I'll go. Don't go, I'll go. So that story, that's the end of that story. I got whooped after that day. But I went again, me. So in the neighborhood, I came to be known as Car Wash. So those who know me when I was growing up, they all call me Car Wash. And when I go to that area, if there was anybody who was there whilst I was growing up who remembers me, hey, Car Wash! That's how they call me. Car Wash. So that's the end of that story. And I haven't even reached halfway. Maybe I need to tell more stories. And then what else? Okay, so also in Ghana, let me say in Takoradi, where I grew up. Not in Ghana. It's in Ghana, but yeah, in Takoradi where I grew up. Usually during Christmas and New Year, we have different masquerading groups who would go around town dancing. There's brass band, and then they'll be visiting house to house. Sometimes they have like containers and they'll come around and you put money in it and stuff like that. But the thing is, they roam throughout town. So they move from different areas, different locations, and kids tend to follow them, and then they'll get lost on the way because, you know, you don't know where they are going. They don't really have like a structured route. They are just going around town. And then say if you live in Michigan, so I'm going to use Michigan as an example. Say you live in Michigan, let's say you live in, walk up to that distance, because I'm not even exaggerating, because they are dancing, they don't really see they are going far, but they go really far. So say a kid living in, and after they are done, everybody disperses, and then that kid doesn't know how to get back home. But me, I was an area girl. I used to roam. So I knew my way around town. But then I had been told not to follow the masquerading group. And then one day they came around. My mom, I don't know where my mother was. And I escaped with my cousin, Mokwa. Mokwa and I followed them. And then we were dancing. We went with them all the way to town. So we lived in, like I said, we lived in number 2, it's Kafan Bantam number 2, and then we walked all the way to town, Market Circle area. Anybody who comes from Takoradi knows the place. It's not so far, but then you know it's far because it was the other side of town, getting close to where our church used to be. Well, our church is still there. Our church was at, so we followed them all the way, and when they dispersed, we came back home. That day, oh my goodness, they made me kneel down and raise my hand. Me and both myself and Mokwa. We knelt down for hours, and then they released Mokwa to go home. And then I was still kneeling down. That day, the way they caned me. My mom told me, did I not tell you to follow them? What if you got lost? The thing is, me, I'm an area girl. I know the area. My friend was a Roman ambassador. I know the area. So I wasn't going to get lost. But that day, they lashed me. They lashed me and Kasangasa. But I went again. Why? You know me, I'm troublesome. I won't stay home. Why should I stay home? Hey, that's why even now that I'm old, I still don't like staying home. I like to roam, but I've not gotten the opportunity to do that a lot lately. Yeah. And then I'm still not, well, I'm halfway now. But yeah, this is the story I'll tell you for now. I'll give you more next time, more childhood stories. So when I get to the end, I'll come back, you guys. All right, guys. So this is the end. We are at the end. I need to find time and waving. Hey, do I say wave or weave? It's weave. My bad. English. I need to find time and weaving all these extra threads hanging around. That's our blanket is blanketing. That's something an African will say. It is giving what it has to give. It is giving. It is giving. It is giving the lingo. That's the end of today's video. And the 29th day of the year has been conquered. Yay! We did it! We did it! We did it! We did it! Hey! The explorer. The sun is Maria, and the crochet king. Hey, wait. The crochet queen. I said king. My bad. Maria, and the crochet queen. Pum pum pum. Maria, and the crochet queen. Yay! All right. Please, I'm not a queen in crocheting. I'm just learning, I'm still learning, even though I've been doing it for a while. I'm not good at it. I'm not an expert. And like it says in my description, this is not a tutorial. This is just me showing you my updates and what I've been doing, because this is not a tutorial. If you're watching me to learn, I don't know, you might find some things interesting, but I'm not the best person to teach you how to crochet. There are a lot of nice people on there with a lot of beautiful videos that you can follow, easy to follow, easy to learn. Some of them are confusing, but some too, they are pretty straightforward and you can get it. Okay, so have a wonderful evening and I hope your week goes well. I have a test tomorrow and I have not been learning like I should. I have my book here. I'm going to be learning after this. So good night. Love you guys. And subscribe, comment, and like and share with your family and friends. Please help me grow this channel. I beg you.